Let's see.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street.
You want to be in a video?
In a video?
Yeah.
You want to be in one?
No.
Take 5.
Hey guys, my name's Andrew. I'm here at the end of a long day of running after school program, and I want to tell you why I made a video game. Making a video game all started with this character that I created quite a few years ago. It's for an art class I was teaching at this elementary school, where I wanted students to create themselves as superheroes and put those superheroes in comic strips. I was doodling and kind of randomly came up with this quirky superhero with green scales, yellow horns, a rattlesnake tail, and a 2x4 kilt, and I named him Snake Man. I put him in his first comic and showed him to the kids, and the kids were immediately drawn to the superhero. They read the first comic, and at the end of the first comic, as kind of a joke, I put "to be continued." They asked for the next part. So not ever really intending to do another one, I did another one. And after that one, they wanted one more. I kind of kept going and it spread. It became something that students from all grades would come to me for. They created Snake Man comics too. They even kept running with some of the superheroes that they made. What it really all came down to was just this authentic form of communication between me and my students on this level that they wanted to engage in. Every day we'd have conversations about the regular show and Adventure Time. These interests that we shared because I was into comics and cartoons and they were too. Now as this kind of Snake Man movement at the school is happening, dodgeball, a game that every student wanted to play when we go outside, had been banned. Dodgeball being banned is actually something that's common at a lot of schools. One moment I'd be asked for another comic strip, and the next I'd be asked if we can play dodgeball. So I approached my brother, who had been taking programming classes at the time, and pitched him this idea. My pitch was that we combine Snake Man and dodgeball into this small game that was short, quick, addictive, based on getting a high score. This is during the whole height of Flappy Bird being out and that global phenomenon of trying to get the best score within a game that's challenging.
There we go, two shot! There we go, baby. Here we go. Why is it so hard?
So Snake Man is this character that lives in the forest, and all of his friends are forest creatures. The game centers around him taking a backpack full of dodgeballs to their annual forest dodgeball tournament. He gets distracted and explores this cave and gets trapped in this old dungeon. All he has are the dodgeballs in his backpack. Snake Man's hope is continually going down, so he's throwing these dodgeballs. They're ricocheting off the walls. If the balls hit him, he loses a life. If his hope goes all the way down, he loses a life. You essentially just have to beat your own high score to break Snake Man out of the dungeon. As your high score keeps going up, you're able to unlock different challenge levels where Snake Man has to break out of a bad dream, or he has to douse the forest after it's been set on fire. At first, I just had this early prototype just with the original level that I could bring on a computer to the school and have students compete for this high score.
10 in a row!
We decided we wanted to put it out as a fleshed out game, one that had a start menu and the challenge levels and these online leaderboards so people could see what their score was compared to the rest of the world. The process of making this game is also something that I want to share. During this time, my brother was learning how to code in this program called Game Maker. This program is kind of a starter program, but a lot of big games have come out of it. Legendary games like Hyper Light Drifter and Undertale. I think we got a small taste of what it really is to work in video game development, because I was our artist and he was our programmer. We both shared lead in the direction, and we had moments of contention. We also had moments of accomplishment. Now, I not only worked on the art, but I also worked on the sound design. I outsourced a lot of the music, meaning that I went on YouTube and I found people that could make this chiptune kind of music that would go with the theme of our retro look. I learned how to create sounds in chiptunes so that I could create the sound effects for everything, anything from how a footstep sounded to what it sounded like when you navigated through the menu, what it sounded like when you selected something, what it sounds like when you boot up the game, what it sounds like when our logo is on the screen. So making a game with just two people, we were both wearing a lot of hats. And then there's also the challenge of learning a program as you are going. And even with just this small game that we're making, it takes a lot to create something that's unified, that feels like a game and not just something that was thrown together. There's also marketing and putting money into making sure that anybody actually sees this game. I brought it to the programs that I was working in and had students test it. We got friends to test it. We rigorously looked for bugs, and my brother would tackle taking care of those bugs. A lot of the times we'd have to figure out what was wrong even in the first place and then come up with answers to questions that we couldn't find on the internet. We might scour forums looking for even the questions that we were trying to answer. And one thing I think that a lot of developers experience, and we experienced ourselves, was that once you take care of one bug, taking care of that one bug might create another one. It might create another 2 or 3. Anytime that you change something in the game, more problems are gonna come up. We had bugs like the dodgeballs would go through one part of the wall and just that one part of the wall, so somebody could just spam balls there and get the high score. The words from the menu are doubled on top of each other, or a sound once you select something on the menu would repeat. It was a frustrating journey. Midway, we didn't even know if this is something that we could do. We didn't have bosses, we didn't have executives or investors telling us when to put the thing out. So it was very easy to just say we want to put it out when it's ready and be relaxed. Eventually, we really had to make our own deadlines. I think maybe to get a well-rounded idea of what making this game was like, we might need the voice of the man who coded the game. Here he's role-playing as one of our favorite characters in Japanese cinema, Zatoichi. Yo, what's up, playa?
What's up, bro?
A lot of what you did on the game went beyond just taking a class. I know that you took some classes where you learn how to code and learn how to use Game Maker, but I know that you did a lot of self-teaching. So what were some of the tools that you used, some of the steps that you took in teaching yourself?
A lot of YouTube videos, a lot of forums. You go on Reddit a lot. A lot also was my buddy Babag helped me. He's a programmer. He went to college for it.
Yeah.
There were just like weeks where me and him would hang out in a room. It's dark, and we'd just be coding. I mean, we'd have cool pizza parties. We'd take breaks and play video games. But there was a period where we were just sacrificing our free time just to learn and be able to do what we did. Okay, so you take our original game that we made and the one that we have now, and it's a completely different game. Am I proud of the app? Yeah, it's better than what I thought I could do initially. I thought it was just gonna be a silly little game that me and my brother just tinkered around with and had fun doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we did do that, but we also made it so much more.
This experience was a deep experience. It's one that I can't summarize perfectly, but there were a lot of challenges, a lot of frustrations, a lot of roadblocks. It was worth it. We got our vision out there. We put something out that really was in line with what we had envisioned, and it worked and people enjoyed it. I hope if you get a chance to check it out that you enjoy it too. I do want to put out more Snake Man stuff.
Yo, after saving chickens from jaywalking, Snake Man decides to take a vacation, but the city alarms and Roborex is on the loose. He turns people into zombies with his radiation and his laser breath.
Subscribe, like if this is something that you got anything out of. Comment if you have any questions. I'm definitely open to dialogue.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street. Under the sun, the bastard son will pop the clock to feed himself and family.
あばよでございます。Ha ha ha ha!